Hello, all you lovely people, and welcome back to my channel and this brand new video where I'm going to be talking about Voidtrain. Now, this is a first-person survival crafting game developed by Hypetrain Digital, and it takes the familiar raft or Subnautica formula and replaces the ocean water with a surreal interdimensional void, replacing the raft base with a customizable moving train. So it's pretty interesting in terms of concept. And in today's video, we're going to get into the performance of this game on the Legion Go. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to share my AMD Adrenaline settings. And for that, I'm going to get into Adrenaline. And please note that this is an Xbox Game Pass game. And the reason why I'm mentioning that is, well, I'm going to talk about that in a bit. The display driver version that I'm running with is 25.10.13.11, which is actually an Ally driver. No, I have not installed the latest drivers, which are for Legion Go as well. I do want to keep it for another day and another time, so that I also have some kind of a comparison that I can do later on when I play probably the same games with the latest driver. But in this video, the driver version is 25.10.13.11. And what I need to do, since it's an Xbox Game Pass game, is add the game manually. Now, in case it does not show up here, you can try to refresh it. Even if it does not show up here, you can always add that game manually. Now, I know exactly where I've stored that game. So I'm just going to go over to my Xbox Game Pass folder, take out Voidtrain, content, game launch helper, and voila, so I have that here. So how do I know this is Voidtrain? It's because the directory says that it is. So I'm going to be playing this with AMD's fluid motion frame search mode. I'm going to keep it on high. I'm going to keep the performance mode on quality. I am going to enable Radeon anti-lag, and I'm going to enable image sharpening as well. As far as the advanced settings go, anti-aliasing method is multi-sampling. Morphological anti-aliasing, let's enable that. Anisotropic filtering, let's enable that and keep it at 2x. The texture filtering quality, I'm going to crank it up to performance. Surface format optimization, I'm going to turn it on or enable it. And I'm also going to enable OpenGL triple buffering. So these are the settings that I'm currently playing with in terms of the adrenaline settings. But let's get into the game and see how this game performs. So what I can do is I can just launch the game from here. Now that it's here, let's go over to the game, launch game. And this is an Xbox Game Pass game. So that's a really cool thing. In case you have Xbox Game Pass, this game is going to be included with your subscription. So you don't need to pay anything extra for it. That's a really good thing. So let me quickly share the in-game settings of this game, and then we're going to get into the performance of this. Okay, let's get into the game and share some of the in-game settings. So I'm going to get into the settings very quickly. I'm going to go head over to the display first. Okay, so in display, please note that I'm playing at 800p resolution. That's important. Now, apart from that, this is the borderless resolution type. I am going to see if I can change it to full screen. Yeah, there is that option. So let's go along with this option, full screen. DirectX 11, not 12. That's what I'm choosing to play with out here. Field of view is 90. Brightness is at 34. There is no limit cap that I've put from here, from within the game, but there is a limit cap, and I'm going to talk about that in a bit. Moving over to the graphics, I'm going to change this. I'm going to get down to medium graphics, and I'm going to apply to hold. Post processing, I'm going to keep that on medium as well. Textures, we're going to keep on high. Foliage, we're going to keep on medium. Anti-aliasing on high. Shadows on low. Effects on medium. And depth of field, well, we're going to keep it on medium. So let's apply all these settings. And before I get into the gameplay itself, I also want to share the Legion space settings. Now, first of all, I'm playing with a performance TDP. Secondly, I'm playing at a 40 FPS cap. So the limiter has been set from Legion Space. Now I'm playing at 800p and 144 Hz. Let's start tracking this game and see how this game performs. So now we are finally going to get into the game. Let's go to a new game. And some settings out here that I'm not going to tinker with. let's start the game. So you would notice that the game looks really nice and colorful. And I'm going to give you a little bit of background about the game itself before we finally jump into the gameplay aspect. So this game, in terms of the story and narrative, well, it's, I would say, one of the most polarizing aspects of the game. Let's talk about some of the good things first. The game looks aesthetically stunning. Its visual design is where it really excels. There's this blend of steampunk art deco technology with a surreal Lovecraftian void, and that creates a truly unique and beautiful atmosphere that is highly memorable. There's also this witty, well voiced narrator. Of course, the volume is turned down, as I usually do in most of my videos, but there is a well voiced narrator, and this narrator will guide you along your journey. He will occasionally be dropping humorous or philosophical lines, and it's his presence that gives the game a light, self aware tone that works well against the cosmic background. And in terms of, some of the bad things, look closely. Okay, look closely. Okay, all right, look closely. I'm supposed to do something. Oh, by the way, I'm getting around 131 FPS out here, so that's a good thing. Now, getting back to the plot. The plot is a bit vague. You're an engineer who stumbles into this interdimensional train world, but the why and the bigger picture of the void are often left frustratingly vague. So the main story serves more as a series of triggers to introduce new environments in the form of depots rather than a deeply engaging plotline. And there's also this inclusion of historical or political elements, which feels pretty random and can actively pull players out of the beautiful sci fi fantasy immersion the game otherwise creates. So, as you can see, the game is performing well. Now, of course, this tracker, the Legion Space Tracker, sometimes works, sometimes it does not. Please note, I have put a cap of 40 FPS, and at the moment, it seems like it's performing at that stable 40 FPS. So, in this case, it's not giving me the accurate frame generated frame tracking here. And it happens, from time to time. Okay, so let's look around. It does look good, even at 800p. I tell you what, I've been playing some of these latest titles, especially with the newer titles. Even at 800p, somehow, magically, they look brilliant on this display of the Legion Go. I don't know what it is about these brand new titles, but it just looks so good. Okay, it's a bit dark here. Our brightness is at 100%. Alrighty. So let's just get down here and see what's around out here. Let's open this. So far, so good. The performance has been pretty solid so far. All right. Okay. Can I carry this? No, I cannot. Can I take something from the table? Find something to open the fuse box. Okay. So this is the box that I need to open. And so that's the first task. Let's try to find something. Oh, there was something there. Let's interact. Ooh, what's this? Ooh. All right. It's just a train and it's heading into this world. So this is the train world that I was talking about. All right. Earlier, and anything else that I can interact with? Nope, nothing much here. What can we open the box with? I thought I could interact with that lever, but no, nothing. And I know, this scenery might be a bit dark. There's something out here. Let's inspect this. Okay, all right. What is that? A nice little drawing. Cute. But that's not going to help me open the fuse box, is it? Well, I don't think that's going to help. You're absolutely right. So now let's open this box and see what's in there. Heavy blunt object. I think this might just do it. Okay, that looks nice. Let's put it there. Yeah, alrighty. So we're all ready to get into some action as well. Let's try to open this now. Let's see if the hammer does the job. Yes, it did. I'm afraid there's nothing left to fix with the hammer. Any other ideas? I don't know. So this is the voice. Generally, the narrator narrates this bit. Okay, so we're just gonna try to repair this. We've got to fix the wiring. I think we've done that. There's a thumbs up there. Good job there. And I don't think that's gonna close. Uh, uh-huh. So, oh, look at it. Now we've got lighting here. Interesting. There was a lever that I needed to pull out here. I think it's gonna work now. Nope, nothing yet. Anything else? Nope, nothing yet. No, the lever definitely does not work. Let's head over to this place. Okay. Oh, there's a button here. Oh, so it opens and closes that. That's what it does. Is there another light here? Nope. Let's open this door. The door remains impregnable. There's too much snow outside. All right. Uh, let's get some heat in. Alrighty. Okay. So pretty done. And there's something here to inspect. Okay. So it's performing really well, guys. I know that the tracker says 40. It's because it is capped at 40. So this is not giving me the frame generated frame rates right now, but it does look stable. It looks very stable, in fact. Now this is pretty cool. Wow. Okay, and I seem to be floating, and that's not a good sign. I know I'm going to be sucked into this portal. Oops. Yeah, already gone. All right. So chapter 1, entering the void. Now the core loop of Voidtrain is going to be centered entirely around your mobile base, and that's going to be the train. So the best part of the game is the building loop. Ooh, what's that? What is that thing? But look at how smoothly this game is running, guys. What are those things? I thought they were seahorses. I mean, kind of flying seahorses. Obviously, not seahorses in this case, like void horses, probably. Well, this might come in handy. Okay. Now, this game is definitely not my type of a game. It has to do with a building loop. So that's what the gameplay mechanics are all about. As you can see, you start with this small trolley and you have an option of expanding it into a multi car train complete with an engine, various workbenches, storage, and eventually defenses. The progress is highly tangible as every workbench, every window, and every new wagon is a physical addition to your living space, making your efforts feel kind of rewarding. But let me also tell you that for a person like me, this early game resource management was a major annoyance because inventory space is tiny and storage space on the train is severely limited initially. So players spend a significant amount of time in frustrating storage Tetris, managing stacks of small and essential items that you can later on craft, because you are going to get a crafting table as well. Hopefully, I can show you a little bit of that in this video. But again, for a person like me, the slow pace and grinding feels really stretched out. So it's what I'm trying to say here is different strokes for different folks. Well, for me, this game didn't work because when I play these let's play games, the first 30 minutes or 45 minutes kind of creates a trajectory for me whether I am going to play this game further or not. And for me personally, this was not cutting it. So, I mean, it's a slow burn, is what I'm trying to say. So much so that I did not even get into the combat bits of this game, and this game does have combat bits. Now, unfortunately, from what I've read, that's probably the worst part of the game because the combat mechanics, it feels unpolished and frustrating. Now, I'm not saying that because I did not even get to that bit, but this is what I've read about it. So I just want to make myself clear. And apart from the combat bit, let's in fact let's expand further as to what I've read about the combat. According to some players, the weapons they feel often inaccurate, and there's this slow bullet velocity as well. So enemy AI also, they swing between being too accurate and being complete. So it is a game which requires patience. It requires time because you have to craft these elements. And I did not get any further from the story perspective. So there's not much that I can say apart from what I've read about this game. It is a methodical base building game, I would say. And people who are looking for a unique atmosphere, they probably might like this game. Hey, the positive is that it's on Xbox Game Pass. So if you have an Xbox Game Pass subscription, you don't need to pay anything extra to get this game. And if you really want a polished first person combat, I don't think you might like this game. In fact, I didn't even get to that bit of this game because it was so much of a slow burn for me. But hey, that's just my personal experience. In terms of the performance, this game has successfully done a good job. It's performed really well. Now, I know that the tracker says 40 only because I've capped the FPS. But what is important here is that it was a stable 40. And it definitely feels a lot more smoother than that 40 FPS because of AFMF 2.1 running in the background. And I'm sure it's not being tracked right now. So that's my experience with Voidtrain. If you've played this any further, you can come back and let me know in the comment section, what you personally feel about this game. Would I recommend it? No. I'll be straightforward. No, I would not recommend it because this is not the type of game that I would personally play. But hey, if this is something that you like, base building and all that stuff, and if you have the patience to gather these resources and craft materials and expand your train from a trolley to a full-fledged train, well, this game might just be one for you. But hey, that's my 2 cents on Void Train. Now, what are your thoughts about this game? If you've played it, please drop them in the comments section. And I will see you lovely folks in my next one. Now, before you go, if you've liked this content, do not hesitate to hit that like and subscribe button. In fact, I recommend that you do because it helps out with the YouTube algorithm as well. And I really thank you in advance for your love and support. That's it for me and for this video. I'll see you lovely folks in the next one. Until that time, I'll say take care, stay safe, and may God bless you all.